Hey Barb, look what I found. I think it's a letter from Hogwarts.
Hogwarts? That's an illness I haven't heard about before.
It's from Harry Potter.
No, it's actually from Monster High. And they're inviting me and our patrons to take part in Enchanterium's Monster Me Patron Collaboration 2024 and create a monster persona.
Why wasn't I invited?
Because it's my show. Get out and let's do it!
But first, let's unbox the main character of this video, G3 Draculaura.
She is gorgeous. I love all the new Monster High designs, even if I don't agree with every choice. When we customize Playline dolls, we usually use secondhand dolls, and this is my very first time opening a brand new doll from a box. I don't know when I did that last time, maybe I was 10 or 8. I struggled a bit, but after a few tries, I finally got it.
And there she is, finally out of the box. I love her, love the vampire vibes, love the Monster High aesthetic. Let us know if you would like to see the characters from Monster High reimagined in our own style one day. But that's a question for future. This time, let's transform her into Raccoon, Dark Academia, robot-loving, my sister.
When we use secondhand dolls, they usually need a rescue. Sometimes they are dirty, sometimes have loose legs or damaged hair, so I feel absolutely no guilt when I make a character change. But this time, look at her, she's so pretty. It's breaking my heart. I have to cut her hair and remove the makeup. And you may ask, Alex, why did you choose this brand new doll instead of a pre-loved one? Well, there's no so many secondhand G3 Draculauras on the market, and I ordered one, but the seller has changed their mind or didn't see my purchase, and I got my money back and I couldn't wait longer, so I bought a new one. After removing the head, the hair, and the face, let's also remove the ears, because this already sounds like a nightmare, and one more drastic cut won't make a big difference. She is going to be a raccoon, so let's make her a little fluffy tail. I brushed and straightened, but just a bit, acrylic yarn and glued it on a plastic sleeve to make wefts. I'm going to use this thick but easy to bend wire as a base, but raccoons have pretty thick tails, so I'm building more volume with medical tape and yarn leftovers. I think I added 3 or 4 layers of tape and fluff until I have a banana. I painted the banana in stripes and started adding glue and wefts. I'm using black, brown, and beige. I know raccoons are more gray, but I just don't see Barb in gray, so it's going to be a more brown kind of raccoon, like Tanuki or Rocket. These black wefts are leftovers from making Bone Clay doll millions of years ago. And I'm kind of impressed that they survived so long. Not because they could fall apart, but that I didn't throw them away, you know? I'm trimming the wefts with normal scissors here, but I also use thinning scissors to make a more smooth effect between layers of the same color, but a hard edge when the color is changing. And because it was not easy, I'm fixing some of these places with a tiny bit of brown paint, just to make the stripes have a little bit more shape. And this is how it looks. Fluffy, but not too fluffy, and with cute black, brown, and beige stripes. These colors will be a starting point for the rest of the colors in this design. I included a magnet at the top for an easy attachment.
Basiu, oto prezent dla ciebie. Wyciągaj.
I haven't made any clothes for the new G3 Monster High dolls before, so I'm kind of excited, and I really wanted to give it a fair chance because the proportions of these dolls are super cute. So I searched for a color palette within the fabrics that I had. But of course, I was dissatisfied with what's already in my stash. Even though there's a lot, I always like new fabric. So we're gonna make a custom plaid for the skirt. I put the Cricut to work and took some real professional footage of it. I also have a new heat press, thanks to my friends at Xtool. This one is actually a real heat press, unlike the old musty iron press that I had before, so I am really excited. I like that you can set the pressure on it so it can be used for different materials, and I think it will come in handy for shoemaking too. The little controller for the temperature is separate and like wireless, and it has a timer built in, which is an upgrade for me because I used to count in my head and I tend to always be off with my counting. I wanted my plate layers to really be interwoven, so I didn't cut them all as like grids, but I made the lines separate for some colors, and I had to repeat it for 3 different pieces, so there was a lot, but it went quickly with the timer. The press also comes with this tiny baby press for quick and small applications. It's so cute. One feature that saved me here is that my vinyl only came with instructions in Fahrenheit and not Celsius, which is the superior sort of unit. So instead of converting it myself, I just switched the device to the F setting. F, standing for press F to pay respect. Overall, a very pleasant experience with my first professional heat press. I can't wait to use it for the shoes I'm making, and I'll actually be making a lot because we're going to London Comic Con in November. I don't think we mentioned it before, but we will have a table there, so if you're from the area, we hope to see you out there. We plan to maybe have some surprises for people who visit us there. Anyway, back to the outfit. With my plate as my guide, I started plaiting the skirt, of course, in the wrong way. Let's go back in time, okay? Let's pretend that didn't happen. Then I pleated it the way I intended, and I have to say that I do like sewing tiny things sometimes. It's already so cute. The tiny things are so cute, but they require such patience. I think I'm loving it already. Oh, it got stuck. The design for the skirt is a bit of pleating in the front and a normal A-line in the back. I used the original Draculaura shorts for reference for the pattern as I had nothing else to work off of. Let's see it on! I hope it's nice! Taka wyszła trochę chyba za długa. Trochę, no? Thankfully, it was an easy fix and I just had to rehem the waist and pinch the skirt in the back to see how much to take in. It was a bit hard to do so because the plastic makes the fabric slide around. So I tried to use some tape and it turned out that it needed to be taken by like about half. But after that fix, it was the perfect little skirt.
I know, Draculaura's skin color is very pretty, but for this character, I have something else in mind.
So I'm adding a few layers of light brown paint, topped with 2 layers of MSC sealant and 2 layers of matte acrylic varnish. I had an attempt with recoloring the body with pastels, but I couldn't get the color I wanted. The pink was peeking through too much, and the paint was just a quicker and more precise option this time. Let's put the head on the body before the face is on, because later in the process it can crack and we don't want that. As always, I'm starting my face-ups with 2 layers of Mr. Super Clear sealant, so the watercolor pencils have a paper-like texture. Why did we choose to make Barb as a raccoon? I don't know, it just feels right. You know her as a chaotic meme queen who's frustrated a lot of times and talks to herself while working. She also likes to collect random stuff like fabrics, weird cat and frog figurines, and of course robots. You saw that. And raccoons are usually depicted as thieves, and she used to steal my socks. Raccoons also are cute, and you can't say that Barb is not cute. You just look at her, she is cute. And every time I see a raccoon meme, I just think of my sister. I don't know, it's stronger than me. So yeah, that's the reasoning. I'm adding the iconic black patches around the eyes, some blushing and shading with pastels, animal nose, and white eyebrows. I also wanted to brighten the face under the black so that it doesn't look darker than the rest of the body. I used white, but I still had the paint mixed I used for her skin. I chose yellow for the eyes to nicely complement the skin color and the outfit. I start with a sketch with watercolor pencils, but I later switched to acrylics. I'm adding some details like the waterline and sketch of the lashes, but I want to keep this face simple because I feel like the black is already pretty heavy and the hair is going to have a lot of texture, so this should be a resting point for the eyes. If I want visible lashes, I have to make them lighter than the black marks, so I'm adding a white base first and going over it with brown paint on the next layer. And then I scratched the paint from one eye by accident, so I removed all the iris and started again. But because it wouldn't be easy to make exactly the same color and fade as on the other eye, I decided to make it different. We both have a mix of brown and green in our eyes, and yellow is a lighter kind of brown, and blue is almost green, right? So I think this can work. I added a few catch lights and some life to the face, and added Barb's beauty mark near the lips. A sprinkle of Pearlix powder, and the face is ready.
To complete the outfit, I decided to do a classic white blouse from a couple of Raccoon Art's patterns combined. I figured that the top wasn't that much thicker compared to the booty, so the old patterns should work. I think it's one of my cleaner 1/6 scale shirts that I made to date. I feel like if this doll is supposed to represent myself, and that's what it's supposed to do, because she's thick and built different, like a baked bean, I think I personally would not show off my belly button. So I am taking this executive decision to put the shirt into the skirt and keep it long. But we will put a fun corset on top. So that is the truth. I am not the most fashionable person. I will be the first to admit that. But I also don't show my belly button, and I think it's an important detail. It took a bit of fiddling in the back with the Velcro, but it ended up looking nice, and to make up for the lack of visible belly button, I took Draculaura's top and copied the pattern of it to make a very cute little corset. I used the same vinyl that I did on the skirt, and I just added some detail with gold vinyl and thread. I guess it maybe clashes a bit with the academia vibe of the skirt and shirt, but my style, if there is any, I think would be eclectic sometimes, I think. So it works.
Even if me and Barb, we have the same hair color and very similar eye color, I don't think we're really similar looking, but one of the features that is very different is hair texture, and Barb has curly hair, so we can't skip that.
I have some leftovers from making Gemini, Flora, Becky, Lisa, and some other that I don't remember. I also made a lot of new wefts in dark brown, light brown, beige, and dark teal, but spoiler, this amount was enough for only half of the head. I use a brush, a hair straightener, and a tiny drop of water to set the curls, and guys, it took so long, longer than last time on Beetlejuice, and that was like a 3 times bigger head, because nylon hair was easy to separate into a few smaller curls, but yarn can't do that, so I had to curl all these tiny locks one by one. I can't tell you how long exactly, but I spent a few long evenings on this. But before we can start gluing the hair, I want to make her cute little raccoon ears out of epoxy sculpt. I'm using pins to make the clay more stable, but also to know where the ears are going to be so the shape fits perfectly to the head. I enjoy simply sculpting like this. It's easy, fun, and without any expectations. Just cute ears. I waited till the ears had dried and I removed them from the pins. I can finally start adding the hair, after a layer of paint of course. I started with dark teal and added the light blue curls, but they didn't last long. I removed them later and replaced them with the dark ones. I'm also adding some of the lighter brown and top it with dark brown in 2 shades. I couldn't find a good way of making the parting because it's not easy to make a good parting with small wefts where every one of them is curled a little bit differently, so I'm rerouting the parting with straight yarn wefts. I don't know why I thought it's going to be easier to use straight yarn and curl it after, but it was definitely not easy. Next time when I'm in this situation, I'll try rerouting curly wefts. And we will see, maybe that's going to be a little bit better. I made 2 light beige wefts and painted brown stripes on them to imitate the raccoon tail. I think it's back in style, right? And added them to the hairstyle. At first, I thought I had to make them symmetrical, but it looked kind of weird, so I added them on top of the head, where the straight part can be seen. She's going to be a were-raccoon, so she needs a hole for the tail. I would never do this to my sister in real life, but I'm taking my Dremel tool and making a big hole in her butt for a magnet. Barb, please forgive me.
Accessories are everything in Monster High universe, so let's make some.
I took these Draculaura mesh socks and added some holes for a more punky vibe. Next, I glued a belt and painted a dusty gold to match the other golden things. I found these sparkly champagne socks and I want a piece of them on our doll's legs. For the shoes, we don't really have much choice as none of the old Monster High shoes fit the new generation's feet. I'm repainting them from pink to teal and this is how they look. On top of that, I'm going to add furry leg warmers. Barb always says that she never looks good in leg warmers, so I want to make this one little dream come true and let her mini-me wear cute and matching warmers. I think I recorded sanding and painting the ears, but the footage can be on the memory card that got lost under my bed. Oops. I found this white bag in our random accessories box and repainted it light teal to match the rest of the outfit. The handle looks like a chain, so it's getting painted gold. I glued some nail decorations on top and it's ready. Very simple. And because we both like sparkles, I added the same decorations on the ribbon above the leg warmers. One thing we're still missing is Barb's piercings. It was not easy to put the wire in, but somehow everything is easier off camera. Barb also always has her nails done, and as a crafty queen, she makes them herself, so that is also something we shouldn't miss. I added a delicate chain to the skirt, and a few earrings to the ears, and small golden hearts on the collar, and I think she's ready. But before we show you our Raccoon Girl, we should check how the collab is going.
Now, let's have a look at all of the wonderful artwork submitted by our lovely patrons. We have The Daughter of the Sandman, Yonika Sandman by KK, a sea monster by the name Kelpsitides by Hope Z, a ragdoll monster, Raggedy Boo by Faith P, a lindworm called Zara Lynn's Dorier by Salza, a dragon of light called Plasma Light Shield by Plasma Revolution, a witch named Elizabeth by Elizabeth Hoffman, a gourd fairy called Ember Harvest by Bree, Billy Graves, the zombie punk rocker by Sleepy Pocky, Helen Patricia Lovecraft, the granddaughter of H.P. Lovecraft by Verna, a demon by the name of Inferno by Diamonza Craft, a Rusalka by Select Arcane, Lesia, the daughter of Leship by Alicia Skov, the flesh-eating kind ghoul Esther Goulier by Kayla, a daughter of the Boogeyman, Jade and Boogeyman by Jane, a pumpkin vampire, Sasha Svitnia by Jupiter in Retrograde, an alien by the name of Celeste by Hannah, Lucent Nargacuga, a monster hunter by the name of Lucy Nakuga by Ninja Star, Miaria Mamone, the daughter of Elgato Mamone by Sunflowers and Mooncakes, a child of a plant monster and a shishi, Dandy Lion, nicknamed Dandy, I love it, by Whitetails, a dragon by the name of Ashling Drake by Burp BDW, son of the magnificent monster Shell by Mikey Lemon, a possessed toy rabbit, Raggedy Patchworks by Otter Artistry, a Fastnacht witch called Bodden Witch by Bodhi, daughter of Latin Vasileia by Alexis, a hybrid ghost unicorn called Vitalny by Stephanie, a dream monster called Pastel by Aslo, a gremlin and cat hybrid called Knickknack by Cute and Cursed, the granddaughter of Count Orlok named Glenda by Finkyu, a demon called Hanan by Hannah, a lightning phoenix named Ash Blackwell by Call Me Ash, a poison fairy named Toma by Zen, Kintsugi Normi by the name of Rain by Rebecca, an offspring of a gargoyle and a harpy named Topher by Canna Vivian, a shapeshifter demon, Lucifer Maximus by Vague Vurik. Thank you guys so much for participating in our little collab, and I hope you all had fun, and I hope everyone watching also had fun watching all of these beautiful creations. This is how she turned out. I honestly have no idea what punny monster high name we should give her. The only thing I could come up with is Draculaura. Maybe you guys could help us with a name in the comments.
I love how she turned out and would love to include me as a doll too, but I think we will save my transformation for a different Patron collab in the future. I made a drawing though, so there is me as a cow plant from The Sims. It is a monster, right? I love animals and plants. My favorite color is green and I have vitiligo, so I think it fits. I don't eat people, but I like cakes, okay? You can also try to find a name for her.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram for some sneak peeks and subscribe for future videos. I haven't done that in a few videos, so I'm stumbling on my words. Anyway, have an enchanted day, and we'll see you at London Comic Con, so book tickets while you can. Bye!
You never know my next move.